Hello and welcome to the Kuribros, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime recap podcast. Hi-ho, I'm your host Phoenix. Joining me, Waka Waka, it's Andy. We are currently between seasons doing coverage of non-Yu-Gi-Oh! Related things, and after some light poking and prodding, I have gotten Andy to watch the 1979 Muppet movie.
Waka waka. I oh gosh. I hate the Muppets so much because of the pig girl. She was disgusting. I hate her with my life. She does not leave the lizard alone. That is my review of the Muppets movie from 1979. No, for real, I've never watched the Muppets movie ever in my life before today.
Any Muppet movie or just the Muppet movie?
I
You're aware of the Muppets because they're a cultural touchstone.
Well, yeah, of course. I know of the Muppets in a general sense. I know generally, I at least recognize everyone in the movie. I don't remember all their names, I will say. I do remember some of them. But this was like the first time I ever watched anything through and through. Like I've probably seen like some of the spin-offs like Treasure Island here and there, Christmas Carol somewhere along the line, but like nothing where it like made a lasting impact. Mostly my Muppet intake has been memes.
Yep.
Because god damn it, Kermit the Frog is a hilarious meme, or is as memeable as like SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Two childhood cornerstones or whatever. But it was, in all honesty, it was really fun. It's as good as I expected to be, which isn't a bad thing. I know the Muppets were created by Jim Henson, and he's like the biggest.
Jim Henson and Frank Oz.
And Frank Oz, yes. Frank Oz has obviously had his part there too. It's so weird thinking that Frank Oz did Miss Piggy and also Yoda.
Yep.
I just think that's kind of funny. But
the range of actors these days does not compare.
No, none like Frank Oz. But I have seen two of Jim Henson's like more well known, because he was more well known than the Muppets. But I've seen Labyrinth and Dark Crystal.
Yeah, he had a puppet company that was used for a lot of stuff with the giant puppets. The Jim Henson's like Creature something or other, Creature Feature, Creature Factory.
Something like that.
Oh, the internet will tell me. An American animation special visual effect company founded in 1979 by Jim Henson, creator of the Muppets.
Yeah, it was so I've seen those movies in the last year for the first time also, because they're some of my wife's favorite movies. She loves the Muppets. She was actually very excited to watch it with me today. And she's like very excited for me to watch more of them as we probably go on. She really wants this to become a thing. So if you guys like this, we'll watch more Muppet movies.
Muppets are like kind of weird with the movies because like a few of them are like their own things, where I don't know if all of them are, because they do Treasure Island, they do Christmas Carol, they've done Wizard of Oz. I don't know if The Great Muppet Caper is another like detective story that was just done up with Muppets, or if it's a Muppet thing itself. But they also have like Muppets in Space, which is like its own thing. And like the other Muppet movies from the 2010s. So they alternate between doing just like, here's a book, but we're replacing the characters with Muppets, versus here are the Muppets. They are real.
They're in real life. I don't know. I know that I think I was looking into some stuff while watching the movie, and I think the other one that was it the Great Caper or whatever?
Yeah, the Great Muppet Caper.
That's another one that I think is the only other one Jim Henson was involved with. So I don't know if that one is its own thing, or it's just like, it looked like a noir story or something of another, like just like the Muppets but noir, which is, I guess, its own thing in a sense.
Yeah, the Muppets are being Kermit the Frog, Fozzie Bear, and the Great Gonzo are all working for a newspaper. They're trying to break a story so they can be big in news. Whole heist things going on. They're trying to catch the thief.
Maybe it's based off something, but maybe it's just based off a type of genre of film.
I do remember a funny bit in that one is Kermit and Fozzie are brothers.
What?
Yeah, in that one, Kermit and Fozzie are brothers, and they're like, oh, here's a picture of their dad, and it's just a green Fozzie Bear.
Oh my The comedy of the Muppets was especially in this movie, really funny. Maybe we should just do
Actually,
the
tell people
recap.
what happened in the movie.
Yeah, and then we'll talk about everything that goes on. I'll let you do the whole recap, and then we'll just kind of talk about everything we liked about the movie.
So the Muppet movie is a movie within a movie because it opens up with the cast of the Muppets all gathering for the first screening of the Muppet movie. And the Muppet movie, within the movie, is the telling of how the Muppets all came together to form their production company. For those who don't know, the Muppets are like they were a like variety show, television show type deal. They would have like celebrity guests come on, they do skits and all that. And so this is like how the actual like cast all got together. Story opening up with Kermit the Frog living in a swamp in somewhere America, where he is encountered by a Hollywood talent agent who's like, "Oh, you sing and tell jokes and all that. You'd be great out in Hollywood. You should get out there." And so Kermit decides to make his way out west to break into Hollywood. Along the way, he meets Fozzie Bear, the Great Gonzo, and Miss Piggy, and a bunch of other cast: Rolf the Dog, Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, Scooter, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, Beaker. And as he makes his way across, this is before he meets everyone, he is met by Doc Hopper, who is like Colonel Sanders, but fucked up and evil, because he runs a chain of Frog Legs restaurants, and he wants Kermit to be his spokesperson, which is fucked up. And so Doc Hopper and his little stoogie are hounding Kermit and company as they make their way out west, eventually resulting in a high noon showdown, wherein Doc Hopper is scared off when the one Muppet animal is turned into a 40-foot tall giant, and then they just leave. And then they go to the audition. They talk to the guy who I think he's supposed to have, or whoever played him was like a bigger name in movies. Although
he was. I mean, the actor's Orson Welles of Citizen Kane fame.
That's who it was. Orson Welles is the big movie production guy they talk to, and they're like, "Hey, we came out to Hollywood to be rich and famous." And he's just like, "Prepare the rich and famous contract." And then they just do a little song and dance number at the end of the opening song that Kermit started the movie with. And that's it. The Muppets did it.
They worked very hard. I mean, the whole trip was them working really, really hard. So I guess that was the test in the movie's eyes.
Yeah.
Or Jim Henson was like, "I don't know what kind of obstacle to face. I'm just going to say, fuck it." It is just kind of funnier to do it that way anyway.
Yeah. Just going to run through some names of people who are the special guests that filtered in this.
How many of them did you actually recognize?
I recognized a handful of them. Definitely not all of them, but I could tell it was like, oh, this is a reference to someone.
Like,
so, and a bunch of the scenes, they would have like bit parts that were played by real humans and not, the real Muppets. And they'd be like famous people from like Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. At the time.
Yeah, at the time. Because this movie was from 1979. So like Steve Martin was the waiter. Mel Brooks as Crazy Mad Scientist. Richard Pryor as balloon vendor.
Like, it was a lot of different. Like, there was one, the one car salesman, that was with. I don't know the guy, the Muppet's name.
Sweetums.
The one that Sweetums.
Yeah, the giant guy who's like Harry.
Yeah.
That's Sweetums.
Sweetums. Yeah, he was running, chasing them, and then caught up with them at the end of the movie. That was really funny.
Yeah. His name is Milton Berle. Was the real actor.
He was in. What I know him from is he did a cameo appearance in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as like some womanizing old guy, and I think he was in a senior home or something like another. But he is famous for being in like a bunch of different TV shows. He's like a TV star back in the 50s and everything. But that's one of the ones I do remember. I remember the secretary who was allergic to the animal hair, and the Muppets kill her with allergies.
Yeah, when they're trying to meet Orson Welles, the Hollywood producer, studio executive, the secretary is like, "Oh, you can't just walk in there." And she's like trying to call security, but then like she has allergies to animals, which Muppets are all a bunch of different animals, and so they just stand in front of a fan and just assault her olfactory senses. Yeah, sneeze, bitch, and then she lets them in.
I recognize her from. She's like just like always cameoing in comedy movies and things like that in her older age. I think she just passed away not too long ago. The one thing I namely can remember her in is Beer Fest. If you guys are Super Trooper Beer Fest fans, she's the grandma in that. But other than that, like you'd probably see her and just like you'd probably know her as one of those like, hey, that old girl or that old woman.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's any other ones. There's Bob Hope.
Edgar John Bergen, who is a like famous ventriloquist. Like when you think of the idea of like a black and white picture,
Oh,
like
yeah,
ventriloquist with the dummy, like that's the guy you're thinking of.
The right hand of fried frog legs Colonel Sanders was in he was the stuttering lawyer in My Cousin Vinny, starring what's his fucking name?
Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci. I don't know why, but Danny DeVito was in my fucking head, and I was like, it's not Danny DeVito. Other short Italian guy. Well, actually, no, I don't know if Danny. Well, I guess DeVito is Italian. Whatever. But yeah, and he was a stuttering lawyer in that movie. I was like, what is that guy? Like, it was a lot of. I recognize that guy from something.
I'd mentioned previously Mel Brooks, also from a Mel Brooks movie, Madeline Kahn, who played Lily von Stupp from Blazing Saddles. She was in it.
I think she was also. She might have been the bride of Frankenstein and Young Frankenstein, but I believe she was in Young Frankenstein too.
That tracks. Mel Brooks likes to work with the same people.
Yes, he does. I mean, he's about to start working on fucking Spaceballs again.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I saw. I've been knowing.
He's gonna be yogurt. Yogurt.
Yep, yogurt. That's him.
Yogurt. At the age of, I think he's 98 years old.
He's a million years old.
I was surprised. I was like, oh, they're just gonna fucking rehash it or whatever to make it whatever. But no, Mel Brooks is coming back.
I've got the thing right here. He was born in 1926.
Yeah, buddy. That man is about to turn 100. I wonder if he's gonna make it for the movie.
Movies take a while.
Well, they're filming it right now. We're completely off the rails here, but I have to know about the Spaceball shit.
Yeah. I know they announced that they were doing it a while ago, and then they just put out the actual like video of Mel Brooks saying, "Yeah, we're doing it."
Spaceballs. That's another first that you showed me. You showed me Spaceballs, and that's probably the first Mel Brooks thing I ever watched.
It was the first one I ever saw.
It's supposed to be released in 2027 when Mel Brooks would be
101.
Are you fucking kidding? This man's about to turn 99 in not too long after we record this. He'll be 99 by the time this comes out for sure.
Yeah.
My man's about to fucking be yogurt.
To touch a little bit more on the plot.
Sorry.
Kermit is met by an agent while he's living in a swamp. He makes his way out west. He finds Fozzie Bear, who is performing at the El Sleazo Cafe, who is filling in for the dancing girls as a comedian. Fozzie Bear is notoriously bad at comedy, so they get thrown out, and after telling Fozzie that he plans to go west to Hollywood, Fozzie says, well, I will join you too, and we'll make a two-man show of it. And so they get in his Studebaker, which he'd gotten from his uncle, which is a car that I guess existed in the 70s.
Yeah, he's hibernating.
Yeah. So they make their way out west. Along the way, they take a rest at a abandoned church where Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, who is the band of Muppets who play music, a Muppet band, if you will. They meet with them. They hand them the script for the movie so they can get caught up on the plot instead of having to just tell them in person. This will come up later. They paint the Studebaker to try to make it look different from what Doc Hopper knows it looks like, which does not work. They are immediately found by Doc Hopper and his stoogie.
Like, immediately. It's not even like they tried. They actually got confused for a second.
Yeah. But they do manage to evade them. They have a run-in with Gonzo and his chicken wife girlfriend, Camilla.
Which I didn't know he had a chicken wife.
Yeah. He's big into chickens.
What is Gonzo?
He's a whatever.
Okay, so it's that kind of thing. Okay. He's a whatever.
Yep. You can get into what Gonzo is in Muppets in Space if you want the deep Muppet lore.
Oh, there's Muppet lore to Gonzo. I love this.
So all those Muppets get together. They get a new car, which is where they meet the car salesman, and that's where they encounter Sweetums, who they say, hey, we're going to Hollywood. Do you want to come with us? And he says, Hollywood, and then runs away. And they're like, oh, well, I guess he doesn't really want to go. And so they're driving away, and so he's chasing after them with a suitcase. He's like, oh, I just had to get packed. Wait for me, guys. We don't see him again till the end of the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of long payoffs, which is great.
They go to a county fair because you got to have some neat stops on this road trip where they encounter Miss Piggy, who has just won a beauty pageant. Also, I missed it before. When Fozzie and Kermit are first setting out, they encounter Big Bird, who is hitchhiking to New York to break into public television.
Boy, howdy, does he get a rude awakening in the 2020s.
Oofa.
I think they're on Netflix now.
Yep.
And I think it's an interesting nod because I know that I think, okay, so one bit of Muppets lore I do know is Kermit started out in Sesame Street.
Yes.
And I've
Jim Henson did the Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm. So I've seen Kermit actually in that because I was curious to see what that looked like. So I have watched like some of those skits and everything else. So it's I appreciated that nod.
Yeah, the hi-ho Kermit the Frog here, that's from bits where he would be like a reporter. Hi-ho. Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here, coming to you live from the planet Coosbane. Love that bit. Muppets keep going. They're accosted here and there by Doc Hopper. Kermit and Miss Piggy go on a date. They encounter Rolf the dog, who is a dog that plays the piano.
Great.
Yeah, this whole cast, their car breaks down in the desert. Kermit has some introspection, thinking about feeling bad because he put the weight of everyone's dreams of going to Hollywood and make it big on his own shoulders, and after having an introspective conversation with himself about everyone believing in the dream and it's not on him if it doesn't work out, which really brushes off a lot of the actual speech. Watch Kermit talking to himself in the Desert Muppet movie. Just look for that. It's a really good scene.
Continue.
But then they're saved from their car troubles by Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem, who had read the script for the Muppet movie that was left with them and saw that the Muppets would break down the desert. And they said, oh, we know where the desert is, so they drove out there in their bus to save them.
Exterior desert. And we knew exactly where that was. It was like paraphrasing what they said.
Yep.
This movie, I don't know. There's a lot of like quick-witted humor.
Yeah, looking at the audience, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Very funny stuff. Very a lot of fourth wall breaking. It's interesting how they create their own rules, or it says fuck it to the rules. It's like a weird, like, tamed chaos.
Yeah. Everything's for the sake of, like, paying off a bit.
Which is well done, I think. I think it's very smart and well thought out.
After traveling in the bus for a bit, they are intercepted by the stoogie for Doc Hopper, Max, who says that Doc Hopper is going crazy and he has hired a frog assassin named Snake Walker to kill Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, it gets there. It goes there, for sure.
And Kermit says, all right, we're going to have a showdown with this guy. So they go to an abandoned Old West town, which is being operated by Dr. Bunsen Honeydew and his assistant Beaker as their weird science lab. They have made some growing pills that make things giant, which will come up briefly. Kermit the Frog has a heart-to-heart with Doc Hopper, where he says, yeah, your dream is to have these frog restaurants. Well, my dream is to go to Hollywood and entertain people. And I think that my dream, is something that, is to make people feel better, has as much weight as yours. And if you can understand that, then you'll let me go and pursue my dream. And if you can't, then just kill me. And Doc Hopper says, all right, blast him. But then Animal, the wild beast man from the Dr. Teeth Electric Mayhem band, had eaten some of the giant pills off screen. And he grows to be enormous, scares away Doc Hopper, as I mentioned earlier in the episode. And then we just go to Hollywood and dreams are fulfilled. Because that's how life works.
It was, the last, 10...
They really wrap it up.
They just, kind of wrapped it up. The last, 15 to 20 minutes where that whole showdown happens to the end is just, fuck it, we need to wrap this shit up. Just the mental imagery of Kermit strutting out in a cowboy outfit, which I love. Cowboy Kermit, 10 out of 10, will stay in that forever. To him almost getting gunned down by a line of, what are those called? A firing squad, getting executed via firing squad, and then Animal just stupid dumb face growing bigger, as he breaks out of the roof. to Orson Welles telling them they have a contract after doing nothing but breaking in and accosting his secretary.
Yeah.
No lessons were learned, and other than friendship, which is why we're talking about this, because Yu-Gi-Oh is about friendship and Muppets are about friendship. There's a connection.
Well,
folks.
I have to send you to the Shadow Realm.
I have to kill you now.
Exodia!
Obliterate!
Ah!
Who would, I wonder, so Kirby would obviously be Yugi.
Right.
Who's Kaiba?
I think Kaiba is the one human actor. That's the way they do it in a lot of Muppet movies. Like, everyone's a Muppet except for these handful of real people.
That's a good way to put it. Fucking Fozzie would be Joey.
Yes.
That'd be easy. That's easy.
Miss Piggy would be Taya.
Yes. So I guess Gonzo's
Tristan, which makes him way better.
And
also you kind of get like the silhouette with Tristan's pompadour and Gonzo's nose.
I'd appreciate that more than actual Tristan. Who the fuck would be Bakura?
I don't know. There's a lot of Muppets.
There's a lot of Muppets. I know, because I've heard at my work at some points during the holiday season, the 12 Days of Christmas Muppet version. Let me tell you, folks, Miss Piggy gets 5 gold rings, and she holds the notes every time. Like, she's like, 5 gold rings. I wish I knew who everyone else was.
Well, in time you will, because now that I've gotten your foot in the door, I'm going to grab that foot and drag you straight through every Muppet movie. That's right. Surprise, we're watching every Muppet movie live right now. I'm lying.
No.
We're not doing that.
But maybe, honestly, I would be willing to come back on and keep talking about different Muppet movies someday if you want, because I know how much the Muppet franchise means to you. You love that shit.
Yeah, I grew up watching Muppet stuff.
So, I'm sure you would have no qualms against that. And I like it. I don't hate it. I've never watched them before, so it'd be interesting for you to get these like first time reactions to like most, if not all, these films. Hey,
Yeah.
even the TV show. Be interested to watch the TV show.
Yeah. Good to see all the celebrity guests.
It's fun. Like, it's very fun. It is. There's no wonder why the Muppets are still so culturally relevant today. Even though it's evolved and like Jim Henson hasn't been a part of the Muppet franchise for several decades now because of his unfortunate passing. But it's like you go back to a movie like the 1979 Muppets movie, and you can just see all how it's timeless. It really is. Like it doesn't feel like it was made in 1979. Like, yeah, honestly,
practical effects hold up.
Yes, they do. And this was so well put together, well thought out, creative, fun. And it doesn't look like it, but there was and I mean this in a good way. It doesn't look like it, but a lot of work, you could tell a lot of work was probably put into it.
Oh, like, yeah.
A lot of the seamless scenes, it seems like, or a lot of these scenes that like
one of the first scenes is like Kermit riding a bicycle.
Exactly. Or like just like those kinds of scenes where like it looks effortless, but a lot of work was put into it to make that look the way it did. And I don't know, it's easy to really appreciate, especially as someone who like, creates. So I don't know, I can really get behind watching a lot of these movies, especially if they are generally as creative and with a lot of the same love put into it as this one. I'm sure they vary here and there, but
they're all varying qualities of great, because the Muppets. Personal favorite for me is like the yearly watch of the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm. We were originally going to watch Treasure Island.
Yes, which is another one I really like.
So we'll probably watch that at some point. I wouldn't mind watching this Great Caper one. That sounds fun.
Yeah, my favorite bit is when they're like, Kermit, Fozzie, and Gonzo are like trying to get a taxi, and Gonzo's like, oh, allow me. Taxi! And throws himself in the middle of the road.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. All right. So So we're done watching Yu-Gi-Oh. We're just gonna watch the Muppets now. It is gonna be called the Muppet Bros.
When Konami does give us the rights to do the redo, we are going to recast everyone as Muppets.
It's gonna be Muppets Yu-Gi-Oh. And you
Mhm.
know what? It's gonna be the same story, beat for beat. Everyone's Muppets except for Kaiba, who is an interchangeable human cameo of someone. We'll just like it'll be like Orson Welles one episode, Richard Pryor another episode. I think Jason Segel's in one of the later ones. Michael Caine, Tim Curry. We'll get like all of them, and they'll all be it'll all be a random person every time, but just with Kaiba hair and the outfit.
Well, I have some bad news about your first 2 castings for Kaiba.
Well, I know they're dead, but I meant like just the likeness because it's gonna be animated. Unless
Why
you
would we
want it to
animate
be.
the Muppets? They're real.
Oh yeah, I guess we can't just do it with puppets.
They're Muppets.
We'll be Kaiba. and you.
Alternatively, we do the monsters are Muppets.
That could work too. Is Kermit Dark Magician?
I mean, probably.
Who's Blue Eyes?
One of the chickens.
It's Gonzo. It's just it's Gonzo, just 3-headed Gonzo.
Like, you're already seeing, like, the infinite potential of the Muppets.
See? Like, we're brainstorming and it works. You can just throw the Muppets into everything. Muppets Dragon Ball Z.
I've already seen a bunch of mods where Kermit is Goku throwing the Kamehameha.
See, it's already there. The ideas are planted. The Muppets are a gold mine. Too bad fucking Disney World just closed the Muppets 3D Vision or whatever attraction.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, this closed it this month.
Well,
I'm
god
sad.
damn it.
I'm sad because I was just in Disney and I missed it. I didn't know it was closing, or I would have went to go see it. Now I'm sad because I would have enjoyed that.
Yeah.
But no, it's this movie was really really fun. I had a lot of enjoyment. I was never bored. There wasn't really any lulls.
Yeah, the movie's like an hour and a half.
It's very to the point. It's very quick and it's well paced. It never kind of stops. It's a very good fun like cross country adventure movie. A lot of wacky hijinks, a lot of wacky like set pieces. Just all around a well done movie. I can't give it enough praise. If you're just want to enjoy something fun for an hour and a half, something just not very serious but also very well written in a lot of ways, this is something I would actually recommend. You can't go wrong with the Muppets. You really can't.
Yeah. Stellar experience.
Even so, I I know I made that little bit about Miss Piggy earlier about the pig girl, and it will never leave the lizard alone. I know like a lot of that gets hammed up. I'm sure in a lot. No pun intended. Damn it. The look Phoenix gave me when I said that.
Did you just say a pun?
Waka waka. But I know that like kind of gets dialed up as the years go on with like her obsession with Kermit and just her being kind of like over the top. But it was actually really fun in this, and I think there was a well balance of all Miss Piggy's like best features.
Yeah.
Oh, it was cool.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm doing a lot of firsts this year actually. I watched Mrs. Doubtfire for the first time this year.
I've never seen it.
It's a funny movie.
I remember seeing it on like previews on the VHSs I had for like Disney movies when I was a kid. And I just remember that bit for like Robin Williams like covered in like whipped cream, I think, just to be like, hello.
One of my wife's favorite bits and is the only bit I knew from the movie, which was he was in like a unemployment office trying to like kind of, because he was a voice actor in the movie. He's a voice actor in the movie, and he quit, so he's trying to find another job so he can, because he's divorced from his wife and whatever, and that's how he gets the Mrs. Doubtfire job. He's like, I can do a good impression of a hot dog, and then just like sits back in the chair, like, like you probably seen that on Tumblr or one of the back in the day, because that's where I saw it. Funny movie, good movie too. Miss Robin Williams. You know, also another first I'm watching right now.
What?
King of the Hill.
Oh yeah.
I've never watched King of the Hill before, and let me tell you, Anyone who was like me, who maybe watched The Simpsons. Well, I didn't really watch The Simpsons too much because my parents would let me, but like Family Guy and stuff, which is weird that they let me watch that. But would like skip King of the Hill because they're like, this is an adult animation show that I don't understand. Watch it now. It's much better than you think.
Yeah, King of the Hill's good.
King of the Hill's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I was watching an episode before I was getting on here with my wife because we're just watching all the way through, trying to get ready for the revival season. You know it's coming back.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I'm up on some modern media, not most of it.
Barely
any of it, really.
Well, hard to miss King of the Hill because literally no one's shut up about it.
Yeah, and they put him in Fortnite.
I've been doing Luann voices all day. I'm like, oh no, Uncle Hank.
God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby. What?
Dale, it is 102 degrees outside. And if it gets 1 degree hotter, I'm gonna kick your ass. You would hit an unconscious man, chloroforms himself.
Babe, you want a beer? Yes, honey. Wait a minute. How did he know I wanted a beer? The whole John Redcorn, Dale Gribble shit is some of my favorite shit ever. How you get back in there and you massage my wife. This isn't even fun anymore. We're taking the fun out of this. All right. Oh my god.
We're detracting into King of the Hill bits after talking about the Muppets on a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast. Muppets is great. Everyone loves it. You can find me at twitch.tv, Phoenix Forest, youtube.com, same Phoenix Forest. Casual gameplay and mostly recapping Master Duel duels. Where do you exist?
Do you want to tell them what we're doing next one, or do you want to make that a surprise?
I'm going to drop a hint at the end of it.
Okay.
And because it's like it's such a weird niche piece of content.
We didn't know what we were gonna do for these last two episodes, or this episode and the next. Well, I guess we knew what we were gonna do for this one, but we didn't know what we were gonna do for the next one. So we decided on this because Phoenix showed me this thing from a year or two ago, and now I've made it my personality in some ways and shape or form. A year or two late. So yeah, enjoy that hint whenever it comes down. But first off, you can find me on Instagram at, oh god, I always forget the name now. It's like Papa, Poppa, Art by Papa, Poppa _ on Instagram. Papa does art on, or is it Papa -art on Tumblr? I gotta remember my names now on the different social medias. You can find us Kuribros on Instagram, at the _Kuribros on Twitter, and the Kuribros on YouTube. Sorry for the long-winded intro. My name's Andy.
I'm Phoenix.
Giddy up and goodbye.
Ha ha.